And welcome back to the second episode of the Florida Only Challenge here on Madden 23, where we are building a team built entirely from players who played at a college in Florida to see if they could win a Super Bowl. Last episode, we built the team, did the entire fantasy draft. So if you didn't watch that and you want to see how we built the team, jump over and watch that before, I guess, spoilers, if you could count that. But today we will be starting week one, and we will be watching week one and then maybe one of the other three games till we get through week four. But before we could get into week one, we have a few things that we actually need to get taken care of, starting with the roster. And unfortunately, during the preseason, I already have sent through it. There was already pre-existing injuries turned on, but we have had some injuries happen while in preseason, one being to Van Jefferson. One of our starting receivers will be out for a while. He had a partial MCL tear. I'm pretty sure this happened during the preseason. I don't remember if this was actually in real life. Either way, he'll be out for 8 weeks. Ones that I know that were preseason were Grenard and Williams. They will be back after probably the first episode or during the first episode. But John Feliciano, our starting center, also injured with a dislocated ankle. He will be out for a good bit as well. So we need to remember these while we're making our cuts or final roster adjustments. And we do have 16 of those that we need to get taken care of. Some will be pretty obvious, just low overall guys. Some won't be as obvious, and we'll go through position by position. So at quarterback, I really don't think we need 3 different guys on roster. No one's going to be picking up Alex Mago or Magoo or whatever his name is. So for now, I feel more than comfortable cutting him. James Morgan will be our backup. We currently have 5 running backs on roster. Again, I don't think we need that many. D'Ernest Johnson and Marlon Mack will definitely be starting. Might feature a little bit of Travis Homer. So at the back end, I think Jordan Scarlett ends up getting cut. Devontae Price is younger. Basically the same overall. Some ratings are a little bit better, some ratings are a little bit worse. I'd rather err on the side of youth. So Jordan Scarlett will be cut. Price may end up going to the practice squad. For now, we will run with 4 running backs. And I don't believe we're really going to need a fullback. We are running the Arizona Cardinals playbook. I'm familiar with it, with obviously playing with the Cardinals, and you don't really need to have a fullback in that roster because we're playing a spread offense. So Gabe Neighbors or Nabbers, never learned your name. I'm sorry, but you will be cut. If we end up needing a fullback, we know he's still there. And we only have 5 receivers on roster right now, with Van Jefferson being injured. So receivers, all of them will be staying. And I don't believe we really need 4 tight ends, and unfortunately none of them are practice squad eligible. We will go ahead and cut Ryan Izzo, maybe that's how it is. I don't know. Izzo, you're gonzo. That was bad. Now on the offensive line, Forsyth, that's definitely what it is. He'll be moved to the practice squad. I believe that's the first guy we've sent there. We have a couple other guys, both of them being 26 years old. I think David Sharp ends up being cut. And the main thing that I think of when I have offensive line, or the amount of offensive linemen that I want, is at least 8 healthy. So we might need to have 9 with our center injured. We have 2 at left tackle and then 2 at left guard. At center, we only have 1 backup currently with Jonathan Harrison. So that makes 5. 2 more over at right guard, 7. And then 2 more over at right tackle would make the 9. So for now, all of these guys will be staying on roster. Over at left end, we have 3 currently. I'm not too intrigued by either of these backups, being Joe Jackson or Chad Thomas. Maybe we might end up coming back and cutting Jackson. At right end, just the 2, so we will stick with those 2. And we do have 4 defensive tackles. I don't believe we need all 4. I think Trayvon Coley, either or, he can go ahead and be cut. We have 2 left outside linebackers, so again, we want to make sure we keep at least 2 at each position. Jeremiah Moon, I already know, can head to the practice squad because we don't need a 57 overall guy on roster. With that move, we still have 5 linebackers. I think 4 is all we need for interior linebackers. So Terrence Smith is cut. At right outside linebacker, that leaves us 2. Again, that's the minimum that I want to have at that position. And we currently have 9 corners. We don't need that many. I think 5 at the max. So a lot of these guys will be sent to the practice squad. Isaiah Brown being 1. Thomas Oliver will be the other. That makes 2. Tay Gowan will be 3. And now that leaves us with Corn Elder. And there's similar overalls between Artie Burns and Corn Elder. I think we will end up going with the higher overall that does better with Madden Sim. So Corn Elder will end up being cut if I hit the correct button. There we go. That leaves us 3 free safeties. So Bell can definitely head to the practice squad. And at strong safety, we have 3. So Steiner can also head to the practice squad, leaving 1 player. So I think that ends up being Joe Jackson will be cut. And that at least will get us down to the 53-man roster that we need. But before we sim on through, we'll just go through a quick, and I mean pretty quick, recap of what the team was able to do in the preseason. So our quarterbacks, nothing very good, unfortunately. Jameis Winston, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, completing under 60% of his passes. In the rushing department, 2 touchdowns for Ernest Johnson, but he did fumble. Winston also had a rushing touchdown. No one averaged great rushing yards, but we don't have very high overall running backs, and Madden sometimes prefers that. Trey Nixon was our leading receiver with 165 yards, and I believe he had a receiver mentorship from T.Y. Hilton. We increased his release and medium route running. Seems like it worked out pretty well. Traquan Smith, who will be starting with Marquez Valdez-Scantling since Van Jefferson injured. Traquan Smith will get the start, and then Hilton will probably play in the slot. He had a touchdown, so pretty solid. Jimmy Graham also had a touchdown during the preseason, but just not a lot of touchdowns across the board. Juwan Taylor, who will be starting at left tackle, he gave up 5 sacks in 3 games, so not good. The leading tacklers for us were our middle linebackers with Denzel Perriman and Alex Anzalone. We were able to force a good amount of tackles for loss. Jalen Phillips was a camp standout, increased his play recognition. So he had 2 tackles for loss and 2.5 sacks. And that did actually lead the team. Trey Hendrickson also had 2.5 sacks. The leading pick artist we didn't really have, but Denzel Perriman had 1, as well as Quinton Dunbar and Xavier Rhodes. And Evan McPherson 100% through the preseason, 2 for 2 on field goals, 6 for 6 on made extra points, or just extra points in general. And we averaged 47.3 yards a punt if you're into punting stats. And as we continue into week 1, we still have that camp standout here for Phillips. So hopefully he'll be able to continue that and get some good development and maybe get a nice boost. So in the first game, he will need to get a combined 2+ tackles for loss, sacks. Yeah, just either of those 2. Tackles for loss or sacks against the Eagles, but that's not who we play week 1. It's a glitch in Madden that they've never fixed. But the big thing is going to be draft class. Who do we possibly have coming to us? We will be doing the auto-generated rookies. And obviously, as a state-only build, we could only draft players who also played at a school in Florida. So here is our total available draft class. There are 33 available guys for us in this first round, and we'll go position by position. At quarterback, unfortunately, only 1, and he's a potential undrafted, Gene Bass out of Florida Atlantic. So it looks like, at least for year 1, Jameis Winston does not have any competition coming his way. At the running back spot, we have a couple guys in the 2nd to 3rd round with Nicholas Mills out of Florida State and Jarvis Allen out of Florida. As a potential undrafted, there is also Chad Harden. And we do have a fullback in Kirk Cutler out of USF if we end up going that way. There is a round 1 receiver, Cole Chanley out of Miami. There is also a 2 to 3 Terrell Whitfield out of Florida State. Day 3 potential guy here with Cole Clements out of Florida. And the potential undrafted Corey Hoteling? I've never seen that name in Madden before. He's out of Miami. At tight end, just 2 potential undrafteds, Doug Locklear out of Florida State and Malik Frazier out of also Florida State. Left tackles, potential undrafted Jared Edwards, Florida State. Left guard, 2 day 3s, Cordell Lamb, Florida State, and Donnie Holcomb out of Florida. Centers, we do have a round 3 to 4, Antonio Carr out of USF, and a potential undrafted Ben Moreland out of Florida. Right guards, another day 3, Jaquez Sloan out of Florida State. No right tackles. At left end, we have 3 day 3s, George McLaughlin out of Miami, Chauncey Pope out of USF, and then Richard Jenkins out of UCF. At right ends, nobody. DTs, we have a round 2 to 3 projected, Adonis Barnett out of USF, round 3 to 4, Johnny Woodyard out of Florida, and then 2 day 3s, Mac Bennett out of Miami, and James Holliday also out of Miami. At left outside linebacker, there is J.C. Larkin from Florida State. Middle linebacker, we have a round 3 to 4 projected Chauncey Felder out of UCF, with 2 potential undrafteds, Otis Pleasance out of Florida, and then Cameron Choice out of Florida A&M. I believe we have a Florida A&M guy on roster currently. Stephen Gold is a right outside linebacker out of Florida, day 3 projection. And then at corner, there is Lonnie Perriman, Florida State, round 1 to 2. I think that's one of the highest overall corners I've had in any of these state-only challenges. There's also potential undrafted out of UCF, Damian Beasley. No free safeties, but we do have 1 strong safety, Frank Stump. And that's a pretty good name for a strong safety. If he ends up being like a run-stopper kind of guy, he's out of Miami. And at kicker, there is Chet Hamlin, USF, and if that's not the name of a kicker, I don't know what is. No punters, so that is our group. I think for sure we could go after the corner and the safety. So definitely going to put together a corner safety scout for us. I'll do that all off camera. Potentially, we could put in a running back one as well. I would like receiver too. We could always get better at receiver. Would like offensive line. There's just nothing spectacular available, unfortunately, which is not very good for us because we have a not very good old offensive line. A couple guys on defensive line we could maybe go after. But for the most part, I think it's those skill positions or where we need to make sure we're scouting, because that might be where we get the best available players, which I feel like would fit with a Florida rebuild, having a really good skill group of players. And now everything is all taken care of, so it's time to jump on into the first game here against the New England Patriots, who have almost a 10 overall higher than us, 83 compared to our 75. Let's see what this team can do.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting out. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now. I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
And we are getting this thing underway, taking a look at our offense first. And of course, it's a rainy day here in Miami. Jameis Winston with a short drop back. Going to look to scramble, but not able to get by his blockers. That's going to be a sack. First play of the season for Lawrence, loss of 3. And so far in these state-only series, the first one, California, I would say we built a really dominant defense with a good offense. And then kind of the opposite with the Ohio only. It was a dominant offense with a good defense. So interesting to see how this one goes. So far, Lawrence has 2 sacks on the first 2 plays for a net loss for us of 8 yards. So far, I wouldn't say the offense is the best. At least not the best offensive line. We are down one of our starters at center, but I don't know. We'd hope for something better on 3rd and 18. Short dump off pass complete for a gain of about 3 yards. They say 4, and we'll punt this one away. And after that punt, let's see if this defense can do anything better here. Zach Wilson, the quarterback for the Patriots, and the running back out of North Carolina. Can't remember what his name is. Jamison Williams, maybe? Can't remember. But he's the running back. Gain of 8 pass play. Ends up being brought down by Shaquille Griffin. Bringing up 2nd and 2 tight under center formation here will be a play action. We have a guy. Hendrickson was off the edge, and that one's going to be intercepted. Is that Keon? No. That is Joyner. LaMarcus Joyner gets the INT. So far, defense playing much better than the offense. Will definitely be a learning curve, to say the least, as I get to learn the new team here. Remember who's playing where. Will be a play action, and Jameis needs to get the ball away. And on 3 of our first 4 plays of offense, we've given up a sack. This time 9 yards lost. So maybe we need to switch up the scheme to run more, because the offensive line is definitely not pass blocking well enough. Will be a quick pass here, complete number 88. That's going to be, I believe, our tight end. Akins, yes it is. Gain of 5, making it a 3rd and 14. Believe it or not, the shortest 3rd down we've had so far, and that one's intercepted at the 30. Going to be returned to about the 23. Is that Queen? No, May. I saw 6 and thought he looked like a linebacker, but I was incorrect. So far today, 2 interceptions in 3 drives. A punt and then followed by 2 interceptions, although great field position here for the Patriots. Should end in points. They're going to find a number 34. I just want to say Rex Burkhead, but I don't think that's who it is. Either way, they get a first down to the 11. Will be another pass play here. Zach Wilson going to look to scramble, trying to find some open running room, and he does find it, and he's close, brought down at the 1, but given a 1st and goal. They'll come out empty set here on 1st and goal. Interesting. We've got 3 receivers up top, 2 to the bottom. Zach Wilson will end up finding his receiver. That's a tight end. I'm assuming Hunter Henry. No, Zach Ertz coming back from the California only, as well as the Cardinals franchise. And well, I wouldn't say it's been off to a great start here for our Florida only boys. Will be a handoff down the middle. This goes Marlon Mack at a shotgun. We'll end up getting about a gain of 4. No, and that was not Marlon Mack. Ernest Johnson back there. Felt like it would have been Marlon Mack in a shotgun set. I was incorrect, though. Again, learning curve for this team. And that's back-to-back completions, or gains of yardage, I should say. Should have been a 1st down there. But Smith not having high enough awareness to just park a squat on it. I don't even know what I'm trying to say there. To just stop and get down with the 1st down. Instead, T.Y. Hilton will get a quick toss. And we'll take it for a 1st down, gain of 3. That being our first down of the entire game so far, with about 2 minutes left in the 1st quarter. Jameson Winston will dump it off again. That's going to be T.Y. Hilton for another short gain of 5. Expect to see a lot of shotgun sets here with this team. I think a lot of our offensive strength is in the receiving core, and apparently not at quarterback. That one intercepted by Gilman. Patriots will take right back over in plus territory. Going to end up needing our defense to make some plays here for us. Bail out our offense. 1st and 10. Heavy set will be a stretch to the top of the screen, and a good job there from Phillips. Really blew up their blocking, and Keanu Neal ends up getting back there for a loss of 2. And our young coach that doesn't look very much like him, Tim Tebow, so far probably is not very happy with his offense. 2nd and 12, though, defense doing what they can given some poor circumstances. We get another stop after a short gain, bringing up 3rd and 8. 2 tight ends to the bottom here for the Patriots, 1 receiver up top. Zach Wilson going to drop back, throw it up to the top of the screen, and the receiver runs out of bounds. I believe that's one of their tight ends at the 38. Expect the field goal unit to come out. And no, looks like they're going to be punting this one away. Might be a fake, so let's go ahead and watch it. And no, they actually are punting this one. And not too bad of a punt either. Patriots will down us at the 6. Let's see if our offense can put something together here. Come out empty set. Trips up top. 2 receivers to the bottom. Jameson Winston has already thrown 2 interceptions, and we go with the quarterback draw. And that ends up getting us a gain of 6. As a quarterback who plays in the Southeast, you would expect he would be able to play well in some rain conditions. Jameson gonna scramble out on this one, slide down 3rd and inches. We don't get the home field advantage spot there. And on 3rd and inches, empty formation here. I don't agree, but we'll see. It is part of the scheme. Quick pass to the slot, caught, 1st down, gain of a solid chunk there. That one goes to Marlon Mack. His first touch of the day, gain of 14. Actually, I think it said that was his 2nd catch. I don't remember him having another catch. We'll come out again, shotgun set, twins up top. Will be a handoff down the middle. Ends up not really getting anything. That was a first rush at least. I know for sure for Marlon Mack. Bring up 2nd and 10. Twins to either side here. Jameson Winston will take a few steps, drops back, and they'll get a nice completion across the middle. That's going to be Akins across the 45 down at the 46. I will say at least so far, Jameson Winston has been accurate. Hasn't had a pass of his hit the turf. Just 2 of his passes has been picked up by the other team. Johnson will get a gain of 3 on the 1st down carry, bringing up 2nd and 7 as we come out with a twin tight end set. And read option, Jameson not really getting anywhere. Doesn't have the same legs he had while playing in Florida. Well, he played for the Bucs. I guess he had some legs then. I was referring mainly to when he was at Florida State. 3rd and 9. Pass up top. Nice. And just kidding. I take back the nice hands. That's going to be a drop for Smith. And we'll be punting this one away. And just as the Patriots had a pretty solid punt earlier, so do we. Downing them at the 13. They'll come out with a heavy set. Zach Wilson, easy pass to Ertz. We'll scoot him forward. Still fight about a gain of 9. On 2nd and 1, under center they go. Tight formation. Looks like 2 receivers to the top. Will be a run down the middle for number 14. I believe his first carry of the day. Gets 1st down. Actually, it was a 2nd carry. Apparently, I'm not very observant today. That was Jones Jr. with a 1st down carry. Get him to the 26. Fresh set of downs. Zach Wilson going to look to scramble, but not able to get around Hendrickson. His first sack of the season, only a loss of 3. Saw a little bit of Tebow there celebrating on the sidelines. We'll see what the Patriots do here. 2nd and 13, shotgun set. A slight audible, going to bring a receiver in motion. I believe that's Terry McLaurin. Will be a pass here to the underneath. Number 34, we've seen him get quite a few amount of touches already so far today. But I think that was maybe, a gain of 3. Bring up 3rd and 10, heavy formation, 3 tight end set. They'll go to the bottom of the screen here, but we have no one there. Easy 1st down gain for number 87. I believe that's Yaboa. Had a had a catch earlier, but didn't get the 1st down. That time he makes up for it. And that's how we hit the 2-minute warning. So far, even though it's a close game, 7-0, it's definitely been all Patriots. And speaking of Patriots, they'll continue here with an empty set at the 2-minute warning. Will be a pass underneath, quick caught and brought down. Ertz tackled by Anzalone. Again, trying to hurry up a little bit here. Another shotgun set. Zach Ertz going to scramble around, try to buy some time. Phillips not able to contain. That's going to be a 1st down and a whole lot more. Eventually, Anzalone and a few other Dolphins will catch up to him. Brought him down at the 37. Leave about a minute left on the clock. Both teams still have all 3 timeouts. Another pass here to the top of the screen, and that's not going to find either of the receivers. I'm assuming intended for Ertz, but thrown a little bit too far out in front. On 2nd and 10. About 57 seconds, or exactly 57 seconds left on the clock. Another pass here for Wilson. Will go again across the middle. A lot of underneath play, but they've been able to get some run after the catch. McLaurin will get a few yards there, maybe about 8 yards. 1st timeout called. And bring up a 3rd and 1, so it was actually a gain of 9. So I was close, but not spot on. And a quick pass. Nice move by the receiver. Blocks out our defender. And we'll get the 1st down inside the red zone. Really good play there from number 11. On 1st and goal, just inside the 10. They say about the 9, a little bit before the 9. Tight shotgun set. Zach Wilson to the bottom of the screen. We'll find number 34, but maybe a gain of 1, if that. Let the time continue to run. 25 seconds left on the clock. Wilson, short pass again, 34, but can't hold on to it. Nice pass breakup there from Anzalone. And in that nickel linebacker spots, we are going to see Perriman and Anzalone. And there's a wide open receiver who did not get his feet down. So the field goal unit heads out onto the field here for the Patriots. With 20 seconds left on the clock, they'll make this a 2-score game, 10-0, as we will head on into half, barring maybe a Hail Mary attempt, but I doubt it. And we are into the second half here, and the Patriots are started kind of where we already left off. Madden glitched a little bit, but at least it was relatively close to where you would normally start. Great run there from Algier? I'm going to be honest, no idea who that is. Either way, nice run. He might be a fullback playing running back, and Madden does that quite often. 1st and 10, Zach Wilson going to set up another pass, but not going to get very far. Is that Dunlap? It is. He's going to get in for a sack, loss of 2, stopping the scramble from Wilson. Dunlap is going to be one of our interior pass rushers this season, along with Tyre Tart. Another pass here for Wilson, but he will scramble and not able to contain. A flag is down. Anzalone will get over to get the stop. You're hoping for a hold. And exactly what we were looking for, going to be a holding on Solomon Kinley. So that will back him up. Be a 2nd and 22 back to the 24. Empty set here for Wilson. Going to scramble around again. Hendrickson not able to get there. And again, Wilson just going to scramble Perriman. And Anzalone will finally bring him down, bringing a 3rd and 14. As they'll come out with all 3 receivers to the bottom. Will be a pass again from Wilson. Or at least was supposed to, but it looks like he's going to scramble again. We have an incoming defender who forces a fumble. That's Perriman. We saw him do that a lot at Miami. He scoops it up, headed down the sideline. Can he beat the... No, he can't. Brought down by the unknown running back, as well as a few other linemen there as well. And this is for sure the best field position we've had all day today. 1st and 10 at the 10 with about a millimeter to spare before the goal line for a fresh set of downs. Jamison Wilson will scramble and throw it out. So far for him, 8 of 12 on the day for 64 yards, 2 interceptions. So need to clean that up. Also has some rushing yards as we go with a quarterback draw. He'll get us down to about the 4. 14 yards for him on the day so far, including sack yardage. We'll bring up a 3rd and 4. Trips to the top, 1 lone receiver at the bottom. Marlon Mack in the backfield. Winston going to scramble. He's definitely going to be caught from behind, and I'm going to jump in here. I want us to go for it. 4th and 5 at the 5. Technically, we have a little bit of space we could get before the goal line, but we're looking for a touchdown. We have a guy open here, and that's going to be Traquan Smith, I believe is his first name. First touchdown, first points of this series go to who technically is our 4th string receiver. And that's the only kind of time you're really going to see me jump in there when it is a coaching decision. Occasionally I will play a drive or so here and there. First season though, typically let the computer do most of the work. JPP gets the stop there after a gain of 2. He's going to be playing a little bit of right outside linebacker for us this year, and will sub in the nickel rush formation. After a stop there on 2nd down by Tyre Tart, will bring up a 3rd and 3 empty set from Wilson, or for Wilson. We've seen him scramble out of this quite often today, but will actually pass the ball here, but dropped by Yeboah. That'll be a punt from the Patriots. And with some pretty good field position, Jameis Winston will take the offense out onto the field, and we'll actually get a loss of 1 on the 1st down rush there from Johnson. Haven't really been able to get the running game going. Passing game has been iffy with the blocking up front, so I feel like you could all combine that down to some offensive line play that needs to improve. But Wilson, why do I keep saying Wilson? Winston will scramble there, bringing up a 3rd and 2 after the gain of 8. So far today, a lot of Lawrence we've seen in the backfield, getting stops down the field as well. We'll get a 1st down here, though. I believe that's to Akins. Crossing midfield, marked down at the 49. That is his 3rd catch of the day, totaling 30 yards. So pretty good for tight ends. My tight ends typically play pretty well for me. Watch the Ohio-only one. I took about a 66 overall tight end and made him a 3-year consecutive 1,000-yard receiver. By made him, I mean he just did it, because this is the same kind of series where it was Sim Get a drop there on first down. Winston going to scramble again, trying to get to the outside. Good block from our receiver. Winston heads down the sideline and is finally ushered out with a pretty strong hit, at least for a quarterback down the field at the 22. With that fresh set of downs, now getting close to the red zone. Have trips up top, one lone receiver at the bottom. Hard count doesn't get anyone to jump. Winston going to scramble, will get by Lawrence this time. We get a gain of 3, but we got to be careful with the stamina of our quarterback. Considering I use the Arizona Cardinals and obviously Kyler Murray is a running quarterback, I've seen stamina completely tank for quarterbacks, and worried that might happen with this series with Winston running so much. Don't get anything on the screen pass either, bringing up 3rd and 11. A 2 running back backfield. We will motion out one of those guys. Be a bit of a play action. Winston again went to scramble. I'm going to try to jump in here to start the 4th quarter. And actually, I'm going to change my mind. We will go ahead and kick the field goal here to tie this game up. That is the safe call at the 24. McPherson will boot this one in between the uprights. We'll tie this game up 10-10. Was the Patriots the first half? It's been the Dolphins the second. Now let's see what Wilson can do. He had a lead for a majority of this game, but now that lead is gone. He's going to be a bit more under pressure here, at least mentally, not necessarily physically, as a solid run again here from number 34, Algier? It's probably like a French name, and I am awful with those. He'll get another first down rush here. 5 rushes for him so far today, 32 yards, so he's running well. That's what, about 6 yards a carry? 1st and 10 at the 36. We had pressure coming in, but a nice pass block pickup there. Stumble around there. Patriots get a first down. 3 tight end set, all of them to the bottom here. Might look for a stretch to the bottom. And no, instead of just a dive down the middle and a really strong run again there by Jones. 5 rushes for him, 20 yards, so about 4 yards for a power back. It's not bad. Be another rush down the middle again, and Anzalone will get the better of him this time. Bringing up 3rd and 1. A bunch to the bottom, under center for Wilson. Or goes Wilson? Either or. Will be another handoff down the middle, and another first down gain from the Patriots, crossing into plus territory. I think they were already a little bit inside plus territory, but now they're definitely in it at the 38. 1st and 10. Shotgun set. 2 receivers to the top, 1 to the bottom. Wilson will take the snap. Looking for a couple receivers across the middle, and will find one. Definitely didn't need that awkward throwing animation, but McLaurin will get himself a first down. And, well, the rest of his team a first down as well. 1st and 10. Under center. Ace formation. 2 receivers to the bottom. Wilson going to end up scrambling. We're just really not doing a good job containing him today. 5 rushes, 50 yards. They've been able to pass the ball pretty well on us and rush the ball pretty well on us. We've been lucky a few times getting some big plays in key situations. We'll need another one here. 2nd and 4. Another scramble here from Wilson. Again, no one spying him until it's much too late. And that might end up being a face mask as well. And indeed it is on Xavier Rhodes. You would think the vet would know better, but throughout his entire time in the NFL, he has had issues with penalties. Be another rush down the middle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the guy whose name I cannot pronounce. 34 is in. We'll give the Patriots a second lead in this game. Made PAT would make it 17-10. Well, now's going to be the time. Can Winston lead us down the field and win us a game? Or at least tie a game and give us an opportunity late, maybe overtime. Will be a pass. T.Y. Hilton gets up to about the 32, making it a 2nd and 2. Try to hurry up the offense a little bit here. Back in shotgun. Winston, pass across the middle, complete to Akins, first down, up to the 38. Again, trying to make sure our offense runs some quick plays here. Of 2 receivers up top, 1 off the screen to the bottom. Winston, pass to the bottom, will be caught, caught for a gain of 4. It's not even close to a first down. Doesn't get out of bounds either. Trips to the top this time, 1 lone receiver to the bottom. Hard count doesn't get anyone to jump, and we're going to loft this one. Actually caught by the running back. Thought that was just going to be a throwaway, but instead, first down, crossing midfield. That was Mac's third catch, a big one there. We have kind of a bunch to the top. Haven't seen this formation, and I even use this playbook. Will be a scramble here from Winston to get away from pressure, and we'll push through the defender and get the first down. 2-minute warning. Nice play. We now move the ball down to the 34. We have a little under 2 minutes left. All 3 timeouts, and that's going to be broken up by one of their better defenders. I believe that might be Humphreys. Bringing up 2nd and 10. 2 tight ends to the bottom, 2 receivers up top. We'll go all the way up top, end up finding one of those receivers. That's Smith, the only guy with a touchdown for us on the day. Get the ball up to the 21. A little over a minute and a half left. Across the middle, breaking a few tackles, getting another first down, number 11. Couldn't tell you who that is. Either way, first down. Winston going to scramble to the top of the screen here. Has some open running room. This might be 6. And it is! Unfortunately, though, Humphreys, one of our better offensive linemen, was injured on the play. McPherson to tie the game with 1 minute 15 seconds left on the clock. And it is another tie game, 17-17. Both teams have 3 timeouts. And we did get an update there on Humphreys, and it is I believe it was an MCL sprain, either MCL or PCL sprain. So could potentially come back in this game, get a nice stop there on the first down. Loss of 1. Be a play action here. Wilson looking deep. Gonna go across the middle and will overthrow his receiver. He's been pretty accurate today, 13 of 19. No interceptions, or maybe 1. I know we've forced a turnover. I believe it was a fumble, though. 3rd and 11, they'll come out with a fullback and run right down the middle. Interesting play design or play call, and they will call a timeout. We will force a punt. And I was going to head out here with my team, but I might be in a situation that I can't actually do that. I don't know if there's a glitch or not in that one. Almost intercepted. Rough. McPherson needs to get to the 40 for a game winner. And yeah, definitely looks like the game is kind of broken because it won't let me not sim. So unfortunately, I can't jump in to help the team out. Winston's going to have to do it himself in a sack. Great blitz there from number 52, Schobert. Will force us to call our second timeout. 31 seconds left on the clock. Again, we need to get to the opposite 40. 3rd and 16, and we call a draw that almost works. But a flag is down. This one probably coming back. And that is killer on Austin Ryder. And it looks like we will be punting this one away because, again, I can't jump in to change what we do. Hoping for a good one here. Ball will end up landing at about the 18, 13. Apparently I was off by a 5. So now the Patriots, with all 3 timeouts, have 21 seconds to get to field goal range and win this game. They'll start off with a run. Phillips will get the stop. Interesting play call. Guess they're playing for overtime, as this clock will hit 0 before the play, and we are headed to OT. Well, how about a little extra football here for week 1? Patriots won the overtime kickoff, so they'll be on offense. Ertz will get forward for a gain of 9 on their first play. And we did force an interception earlier, so can't remember who that was by. But either way, Patriots have the ball, and they could end the game with a touchdown. Will be a pass to the bottom of the screen, caught. 87, that is Yeboah, who's had some good plays and some pretty poor plays today. Followed up by going empty set, trips to the top, twins to the bottom. Already getting close to midfield. Will be a running back screen pass to the top. There goes to the maybe French guy. I don't know. Gain of 6 out of bounds will stop the clock. Not that they really need it right now. Motion over the receiver up top. Make it a receiver stack and then hand off the ball. Guess a little bit of a distraction to the top of the screen and another broken tackle. I'm telling you what. This Algieri guy, he's good. Might need to look him up. 1st and 10. They're going to send another receiver in motion all the way to the bottom of the screen. 2 tight ends also down there. Will be a stretch. Get some lead blockers and a good stop there. Perriman We know he's a run stopper, and he's definitely fit that today, but we've seen him struggle a little bit in coverage. Anzalone is our highest rated cover guy, and he'll get the tackle there. 3rd and 2, and I believe that puts him in field goal range. It does by about a yard and a half. 3rd and 2. Defense needs to get the stop here. Will be a pass. Wilson actually going to scramble, and there's our guy. He fumbles. JPP recovers. Hendrickson forced the fumble, and now we have a shot to win this game with a field goal at the minimum. So Jameis Winston and the offense back out on the field for another chance to win this game. He was able to lead the team down the field and tie the game. Just wasn't able to get a drive going to get a field goal at the end to win it. And unfortunately, will be a loss of 2 on the first play here. 2nd and 12. Multiple receivers all down to the bottom, plus our tight end on the line to the top. And that's where we end up going on the drag route, and we might be losing some more yards on this play. They say we got back to the line of scrimmage. But 2-minute warning, and we have a 3rd and 12. Tell you what, haven't had a tie game in the first game of a series so far, so wouldn't that be something? And go with another pass to the bottom, and if Mac was able to stay on his feet, might have had space there to get the first down, but instead we'll be punting this one away. And with a little under a minute and a half, 2 timeouts remaining. Patriots only need to get a field goal, and they'll win this game. First pass goes to Ertz. We've seen them go his way quite often early downs. Follow that up by going to a heavy ace, not even heavy ace, heavy I formation. We'll end up going with a stretch, and there's number 34 again. He's been killing us all day, and they'll call a timeout. 1st and 10 up to the 43. They need to get to, I believe, around the 40, the opposite 40. Will be a play action here, but we got pressure coming in, and that's going to be a sack. JPP also had Alex Anzalone in the backfield. Now we'll back them up to the 35, bringing up 2nd and 18. Wilson going to end up scrambling on this play. We lost contain, and he will slide down in front of Anzalone, gain of 9. 2nd and last timeout called. And with 20 seconds left, they need about 25 to 30 yards to get into field goal range. 3rd and 9. Wilson pass, caught Ertz, first down. They're going to need to rush out the field goal unit here. Otherwise, we're going to have a tie game, and they can't get it off. So that's how game 1 ends of this series. A tie with the Patriots led by Zach Wilson. Definitely not what I thought it was going to be. Offense looks rough, for sure. Defense was able to make some plays. Defense actually looks like the better part of this team. We forced 3 takeaways. That was the only part of the game here today we won. We gave up 2, so it was still a close game there. Rushing yards, we did okay on offense, but defense gave up a lot of rushing yards. Whoever that 34 is, he looks good. And actually, that running back that was running all over us is a rookie running back out of BYU. So I'll need to remember that for whenever we do the Utah version of this series, because he played very well as a rookie with 85 trucking, 83 break tackle. Speed is a little bit on the lower side. And unfortunately, he's not a run blocker, so he's not a running back, fullback hybrid, but he played very well. If you're looking to build like a power back team, I would take a look at Tyler Algier, maybe? Algier, maybe is the pronunciation. I don't know. Maybe. But either way, it was a strange way of starting this series with a 17-17 tie. I don't think I've ever started a series with a tie, let alone I think had more than one tie in a series, and I don't think I've ever tied in a game of which I played. So interesting, but let's take a look at some of these things here. The camp standout. Did we get the 2+ tackles for loss or sacks with Phillips? I really felt like I was poised for big things, but didn't get it done when it mattered. I've improved a lot since camp, but I'm not there yet. So unfortunately, doesn't look like he got it. I'm pretty sure he had 1 sack, but must have not had either that 2nd sack or tackle for loss. So now we will move on over to week 2, where we're scheduled to play against the Ravens. And the Ravens aren't particularly a very well-built team. 77 offense, 83 defense for a 79 overall. They're definitely built at least better overall standpoint than what our team was built on. Of course, they didn't have the limitations that we did. In terms of our standings, we are not the bottom because we tied a game. So we are above the Bills, who lost week 1. Jets are at the top because they won. And then obviously we tied with the Patriots. So we're kind of tied in the middle there. I think we'll go ahead and sim through this Baltimore game and maybe do the Bills, or maybe we watch a little bit of the Bengals game as a kind of a little bit of a homage to the last state only. And in week 2, we put together a solid offensive performance. In 2 of the quarters, we put together double-digit points in the second and fourth quarter, putting 13 and 15 on respectively. Third quarter wasn't good for either team, but we ended up with the 35-21 victory. We also had more offensive yards gained, which is always nice. And Jameis Winston had a solid game here. 316 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's what we need from him. He did get sacked twice, so not awful. And he completed 75% of his passes. That's all we need from him. Be a field general. Good game rushing here from D'Ernest Johnson, 4.4 yards a carry. Winston also had a rushing touchdown, so he accounted for 5 touchdowns in this game, which were all of our touchdowns, actually. In the receiving department, T.Y. Hilton gets 2 of our receiving touchdowns, 81 yards on 7 catches. Traquan Smith, another solid performance, 79 yards on 5. Valdez Scantling gets a touchdown on 63 yards, 3 catches. Akins, 55 on 4. Marlon Mack had a receiving touchdown on 38 yards, 5 catches. Over on defense, we were led in tackles by Keanu Neal. Also had Alex Anzalone pretty closely behind. As for tackles for a loss, we had 6 in this game, 2 for Tyre Tart, as well as Trey Hendrickson, and then 1 for Keanu and Jalen Phillips. We need to see that continually. He also got the sack in this game, so would have completed that goal from the last game if he did it in this game. A few sacks as well. Hendrickson, Keanu, and Phillips all with 1, and then half for Tyre Tart and Dunlap. And Xavier Rhodes closed hopefully this season, also had an INT. In the kicking department, 3 of 4 on point afters. I don't know what's happened there, McPherson. Maybe he's partying too hard on the sideline. No field goals attempted. We didn't need it, and we averaged about 50 yards a punt. So pretty good for the special teams. Could be a little bit better. Got to make that last extra point. But what about the Bills? The Bills are a much better built team, 80 offense, 83 defense for an 81 overall. I think we will go ahead and sim this one as well and watch a little bit of the Bengals game in week 4. And of course, just have to shout out Jameis Winston over here, 24 of 32, 316 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, was sacked twice, 3 carries for 7 yards, but also a touchdown. And also, Keanu Neal was Defensive Player of the Week as well for the AFC with 13 tackles and a sack. Not too bad for Keanu. And in week 3, we fill up our record column with a poor loss. 31-10 against the Buffalo Bills. And we did well in the first quarter and then just forgot to play the rest of the game, at least defensively. Offense did well in the second quarter, but didn't do much the rest of the game. Take a look at how the players played individually. And in this game, 276 yards and an interception for Winston. Was sacked again 2 more times and only completed 58% of his passes. Really poor considering what he did last week. He did run a bit this week and was our leading rusher with 40 yards, averaging 4.4 yards a carry. D'Ernest Johnson, though, did get in the end zone, but only averaged 2.6 yards a carry. In the receiving game, Jordan Akins led the team, 78 yards on 8. And somehow Trey Nixon was out there. I'm wondering if we had an injury this week. But he had 76 on 5. Valdez Scantling 49 on 4. Hilton 47 on 5. 1 for 17 for Allen Hurns. D'Ernest Johnson had a catch. And Traquan Smith only 1 catch for 6 yards. So weird. Not sure exactly what happened there. Over on defense, Keanu Neal led us in tackles, I believe, for the second week in a row, followed again by Anzalone. Tackles for a loss, we actually had quite a lot. Another 2 more for Jalen Phillips. So he started the year off pretty well, and then Keanu Neal, Anzalone, Hendrickson, Dunlap, Perryman, and Tart each had 1. And unfortunately only able to total 1 sack in this game, with Keanu Neal and Hendrickson both getting to the quarterback, I'm assuming at about the same time. No interceptions either. And in this one, McPherson continuing to struggle. We did have 1 field goal blocked, so we'll just say 2 of 3, because you block, that's not really on the kicker. But McPherson is definitely struggling to start the season, which I wouldn't have thought. And we did end up having a new injury to Traquan Smith. So on that 1 catch, it might have been a non-contact injury, he ended up breaking his hand. So he will be out the next 4 games. So what was a pretty promising start for our receiving core, really struggling right now with 2 of our top 4 guys injured. And against an 81 overall across the board Cincinnati Bengals. Let's jump in, watch a little bit of this game. We'll sim most of it, but we'll watch a little bit, maybe some key moments. Let's see if we could get a win in either of the first or last bit of our record column here. And we are jumping on in here against the Bengals. We'll watch the first possession of both offense and defense, and then start to do a little bit of some quicker simming, and Marlon Mack trips on his first carry. Could have been more, but only a gain of 6. So I say only a gain of 6, still pretty solid considering how we saw our first game start off. Hand this one off to D'Ernest Johnson, who'll get a gain of 3, making it 3rd and short. And against this defense, might be best to include a little bit more rushing, as they have Xavier Howard as their top cornerback. They also have, I want to say, either a Watt or maybe a Bosa at end, if I'm remembering correctly. So either way, trying to make sure we get the ball out quick here. We do get the first down there with the Johnson run. Will be a quick pitch, toss, flick to T.Y., who goes to cut it back all the way towards the middle when he had plenty of space on the outside. We'll blame Madden AI a little bit there. But either way, this drive's still moving better than the first game. We have a 1 in every column of our overall, I guess. Ooh, big hit there from Smith. D'Ernest Johnson took that one strong, but gives us the first down. But yeah, in terms of our win, loss, and tie column, we have a 1 in every single one. Would like to get a 2 in the win. I would honestly even take a 2 in the tie. End up not getting anything there on the first down play. Winston throws it away on 2nd and 10. Trips to the top. Will be a pass here across the middle. Caught to Akins. That is our tight end. Still learning the team a little bit here. It'll come slowly but surely. 3rd and 2. 2 receivers to the top, maybe 2 to the bottom. Or maybe it's a read option, and should have pulled that one all the way to the top of the screen. 4th and 4, looks like we'll be punting away after Wilson gets the stop on the read option. And following a okay punt, Bengals will be starting at the 21. Tom Brady is their quarterback, and they have Alvin Kamara in the backfield, so expect a lot of short passes underneath, also probably targeting Kamara, and that's what we see here on the first down play. A short pass, only complete for a gain of 4 for Jerry Jeudy. Will be a bunch to the bottom. Tom Brady will get another pass underneath again to Jerry Jeudy, who gets a nice juke in on whoever number 24 is. And that'll be a first down for the Bengals. Tom Brady doing what Tom Brady does with those little short, quick passes. He's good at reading defenses, so he could hit those short passes very deadly, as he continues to do here. That's number 2. I honestly couldn't read what the back of that jersey said. Woods, okay. He'll get a gain of 9. Going to bring in Cooper Kupp, and he'll get the quick toss just as we ran to T.Y. Hilton. They'll run this one to Kupp, who gets close to the 50-yard line, marked down at the 49. And with that fresh set of downs getting close to midfield, back to the shotgun they go. Tom Brady, another pass underneath off the top of one of his players' helmets, then easily intercepted by Perriman. We'll get the ball back to exactly midfield. Or back on offense. We might go ahead and watch this one again on offense, because that was really nice, just right off the top of, I believe that was Taysom Hill. Just didn't realize Brady threw it. That's going to be an INT. So just like that, Dolphins, led by Winston, back out on the field, starting at midfield. Only need to move the ball 50.1 yards. Get a touchdown on the board. Marlon Mack starts us off with a gain of 3, including some rushing early downs. I'm not against it. Be a hard count, doesn't get anyone, but no blocking whatsoever. And Roquan Smith just destroyed Winston. Ends up being a loss of 6, 3rd and 13, dual running back shotgun set. Winston will take the snap, look for something across the middle for blocking can hold, and it surely does not. We'll go ahead and punt this one away and jump into some quicker sim. And again, starting at the 21, Alvin Kamara. This time we'll get a gain of 4. And then a big penalty on LaMarcus Joyner will get him all the way up to about midfield. But somehow they also had a penalty. Unfortunately for us, though, we still end up with an injury to Carlos Dunlap. Hendrickson, though, gets a sack, and they get close to the first down, but they will nail a very long... No, he missed the field goal. Maybe I should read more. So instead, we'll take over and sack Montez Sweat on first down. We've really struggled up front. Trey Nixon will get a short catch and then intercepted by Logan Wilson. Tell you what, anytime it's been raining, Winston has not been accurate whatsoever. And he played at Florida State. You would expect he would be used to it. And Cooper Kupp, touchdown, 41 yards, is the first points of the game. Bengals now up with about 5.5 minutes left in the first half. We will continue the quick sim. Rodney Harrison with a penalty here helped boost us up to about midfield with a 5-yard rush there from Winston. And then pass thrown away. 3rd and 5. Nice job, Valdez-Scantling. Gets us down to about the 22, inside the 15 with Johnson. Get us close inside the 10, about at the 7. 2-yard loss, not great. 2nd and goal at the 9. Now 3rd and goal at the 3. And we lose 2 yards. Can I jump in and go for this? Nope, because we already kicked the field goal. So it is what it is. We'll just go back to the sim. I tried to get in there to have us go for it on 4th down, but unfortunately did not have the time to do so. So instead, it will be a 7-3, and Cooper Kupp back with another big gain, 28 this time, not a touchdown. Then pass thrown away, 7 yards to Kamara, bringing up 3rd and 3. And Kupp gets a 41-yarder this time for another touchdown. And with about 2.5 minutes left before half, let's see if Winston can put together a drive here, help lead the team down the field, and get a touchdown on the board before half. We'll start with a short pass that actually ends up being a pretty good gain. I believe that was to that 5th string receiver, now up to 3rd string with the injuries. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. So we hit the 2-minute warning here. And after the first down, Nixon, that's his name. 4 catches, 32 yards. So far, he seems to be our number 1 receiving target today. Going to number 11 here across the field on the drag route. And I want to say that is Valdez-Scantling. Be 2nd and 4, Winston. We'll wait, dump this one off to his running back, Johnson. We'll get the first down now in plus territory. Again, so far, Winston pretty accurate. 10 of 13, just has thrown the interception. Got to make sure he cleans it up. We'll roll out and not even be close to an accurate pass, so take back that accuracy statement. Probably would have been happier if he just tucked that one and scrambled for about 8 yards. Would have been better than what we would have got with the running back dump off and accurate pass dropped by Valdez-Scantling. Will be a 3rd and 10. That should have been a first down. 1 minute, 12 seconds left on the clock. Both teams still have all 3 of their timeouts. Winston will dump this one off, and that's going to be a first down to Akins. Barely a first down, but a first down. And a timeout called, I'm assuming by us. And indeed it is. So we only have 2 timeouts left, 53 seconds on the clock. We had 2 receivers to either side. Pass across the middle was an iffy pass at best. Luckily ends up hitting the turf. Staying out in that same formation though, twins to either side. Akins at the slot to the bottom of the screen. And Winston will end up throwing down to him, maybe a gain of 1 and out of bounds. I wouldn't say Winston has been the biggest, I don't even know. He's not taking some deep shots all too often, primarily sticking underneath or scrambling, but does get the first down there, I believe Valdez-Scantling. And with one timeout remaining in our pocket, 41 seconds left on the clock, we're down to the 22. We could strike from here. Winston going to roll out, find T.Y., who fights through a tackler, gets the first down at the 10. And that barely leaves us enough space to get another first down before the goal, but about 15 seconds, about 10 seconds left on the clock now. Winston, you got to get rid of it, and instead he holds on to it and fumbles, squandering away any chance we have of getting points before half. Really poor from there from Winston, who's been in the league for a while. Needed to throw that one away. Instead, Sweat gets his second sack and Noddy gets the scoop. So we'll just quick sim on through the half and get started into the next half, where we'll start with some more quick simming. Not fast, but some normal simming. And the Bengals will be getting ball to start. So we'll see what Tom Brady and Cooper Kupp can do. And they're starting off with 16 yards. Kamara get a rush of 6 yards. They haven't had to rely too much on Kamara. It's primarily been Cooper Kupp with 2 40-plus yard touchdowns in this game alone, the only points the Bengals have. A penalty will help us out there on Matthews, assuming holding, and that's the third 40-plus yard touchdown for Cooper Kupp. And unless our offense can start putting some points on the board, we might be simming through this game a little bit quicker. On 3rd and 4, we do get the first down to Akins. 1st and 10, 4 yards to Ernest Johnson. And then a penalty there on Noddy, who had the fumble recovery before half. Gives us a first down in plus territory. We don't do much so far with that. 3rd and 9. I want to jump in here. We got to go for this. On 4th and 2, coming out here with a little bit of RPO. Maybe go for Nixon on the slant, or we just end up handing this one off. And we'll definitely hand this one off. Marlon Mack with plenty of running room down the middle. And maybe fumbles at the end. Might have been down. But the call on the field is a fumble. And the booth review does come down, so we don't have to possibly lose a timeout. But let's take a slow look at this. Kind of hard to tell with Valdez-Scantling right in front. This would be a better look. Hand is down, elbow down, definitely before that ball comes out. We should maintain possession. And indeed we do. So let's see if we can put the ball in the end zone here. We've only managed 3 points through about 2.5 quarters. Winston with a throw to the bottom of the screen, caught T.Y. We'll get about a gain of 7, down to the 8. Go back to a little bit of, might have been hurry-up offense. Might have just been the way they go from play to play. Winston caught down to about the 1 for Nixon. He's definitely been one of our top receivers today, considering we're out 2 of our top 4. It's pretty much T.Y. and Nixon, and we're going to go with a fullback handoff, and guess who that is? Jimmy Graham at fullback. Unfortunately for Cincinnati, Montez Sweat, who's been key for the Bengals in this game, does come up injured. McPherson back for the PAT, and he'll knock that one through. We'll make this an 11-point game, 21-10. And we're going to need to see some big plays from our team here for any chance of us to really watch this game in a little bit more slower play-by-play. So far, we've given up, what, 3 40-plus yard touchdowns to Cooper Kupp. Doesn't happen right on this play. 1st and 10, though, somehow they get a free first down, and now they're down to the goal line, and Kamara easily puts the ball into the end zone. No idea what happened there. Maybe a penalty that it just didn't show. I'm not sure. But once again, back down 3 possessions here. 3 possessions. Jameis Winston needs to put together a quick drive, but instead he throws the INT to Howard. I think we'll just need to quickly get through this game. So let's jump on over to the fast, and let's sim to the end of the game. See if we could put something together here. And instead we give up another touchdown. We finally get one late in the game, and we tack on some points late. We got some garbage time touchdowns, and the game ends up, I think it was said 38-24. So garbage time points, but garbage time is the focus there. And with that lopsided game, that will end episode 1 of action. Technically, it's episode 2 as we built the team in episode 1. But that'll end this first part of action here for the Florida only guys. We've seen some promise. The receiving group seems at least deep. We have several guys who can make plays, whether they're listed as our starters or not. We've had some injuries. Offensive line is a big concern for sure. And unfortunately, in this next draft class, there's really nothing there. So potentially during this first season, we have 4 more games before we get to the end of the before we get to the trade deadline. So perhaps next episode, we look to maybe see if there's someone we can make a trade for on the offensive line, if there is even anyone who could really help us out that's available. So definitely some things that can come in here to try to help boost the team. We're not awful to start right now. 1-2-1 could be worse. I think in the both of the Ohio and I think the California only one, I think we started maybe 1-3 or even 0-4. So not an awful start here for our for our Florida only guys, the opposite coast. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you stick around. We'll make sure, and I'll change it up a little bit as we kind of go through. Before I kind of did like a scouting special pretty much in like the third episode of each season, the third group weekings by basically the time we get to week 10. Instead, I think I'll just kind of sprinkle in some scouting updates as we go. And I want to include a little bit of some league news throughout this as well. So I'm going to do that with the Cardinals franchise as well when we get into season 2. So a lot to look forward to. I hope you guys stick around. If you're not subscribed already, make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out, and hit that bell notification button so that way you don't miss out on when these actually are posted. That way you can get notified of when they go live. This series posted every Wednesday and Saturday. My traditional series with the Cardinals posted every Monday and Thursday. So if you want to watch a more traditional series as well, make sure you check that out. But until next time, hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you later. Bye.